from the F3 Nation Podcast Studio. This is the COT Podcast, connecting the PAX of F3 Nation through fitness, fellowship, and faith. Here, the men of F3 gather each week to share stories, celebrate wins, and lock shields for the hard work ahead. F3 is more than free workouts at Dark 30. It's about leadership, accountability, and changing the lives of men and the communities they serve. Each episode, we bring you the latest news from the nation, lessons learned in the gloom, and the voices of the PAX making an impact. So circle up. The COT Podcast starts right now.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Welcome back to the Circle of Trust podcast. Today is August 15th, Friday, August 15th. I took last week off. I was up in the mountains, so I thought about it. And I was going to interview a really cool dude, a professor at Berkeley. I read a book called Starfish and the Spider, but we couldn't work out our schedule, so that's kind of what the thing was. I think we've got it unlocked to maybe get back on. Hope so, but today we got a little different guest. But for News of the Nation, real quick, I really love to see those events. I know here in Boise, we had a Spartan race last weekend. My boy Rhett, and I'll talk about him in a little bit. Finished second in the elite division. He is just a beast, and I know every region has their beast. And if you haven't heard about Retina, we'll talk about him all day long. Go Ruck. You guys are always asking about that Go Ruck code. The good news is it's gotten quiet. We haven't had to take that Go Ruck code down. We've kind of eliminated it. We've kind of kept it out of the newsletter. I haven't sent a newsletter, but we definitely didn't put it in there. It is in the Ruck channel for Slack, the Nation Slack. I hope you're on there and engaging in those conversations. This tis the season for a lot of veterans awareness. I know we have a RED campaign coming on. Remember, employed, remember, free, deployed, something like that. Here in Boise, we have an Aaron Butler race. It's a memorial race for fallen soldiers. We're going to get back there. Got an original Rucker back there, original one. You nerds will love that one. It is fantasy football season. I'm sure you're all signing up for that. Our punishment, if you lose, is you have to eat one pancake every hour for 24 hours at IHOP. It's that's a pretty tough one. I know F3 Capital over there in Washington, D.C. is doing a stair climb for 9/11. I know we got the Anvil coming to the St. Louis region. I know somebody's going to yell at me for saying St. Louis. I can't keep up with all y'all starfishes. I'm not going to try. I know we got a big event coming down in Dallas, the Houston area rather, at the end of this month. But let us know where your CSOPs are. Let us know where your big events are, your convergences. We'd love to highlight that. Love to put it on Facebook Live. A lot of guys like to we love to highlight those local regions, local events. Amazing. Just we'll keep doing that. So get in contact with me. Let me know, and we'd love to highlight it. So I guess we're on. I guess that's all I have for the news. It's not a whole lot. A little quiet since State of the Nation. If you haven't watched State of the Nation, please go back and do that. Check with Power Clean if he needs anything. Tackle, another great guy to check in with. Had a lot of guys reaching out to me, jumping on the culture team. Thank you, Generic. Get on Facebook. See what my boy Ice Cube's doing, man. Ice Cube is pushing out a lot of good stuff out there on Facebook, and I've seen it shared all over the Twitterverse and Facebook, and really appreciate what he's doing down there and what he's creating. Thank you, Ice Cube. But 'tis the season in F3 that a lot of people just don't like. Me included, and that is we are signing up for the Iron PAX Challenge, the IPC. And here we have Ben Gay with us here today to talk to us about that. If you're new to F3, you're going to hear all about it. If you're not new to F3, we're going to hear about it again. So Ben Gay, tell us who you are, what you're doing, and tell us about the Iron PAX Challenge.
Yeah, morning. Thanks, Huckleberry. Yeah, it's everyone's favorite time of the year. It's Iron PAX Challenge time. We are excited. It is the eighth year of Iron PAX, which is crazy that we're at that point. But so we're excited about another installment, another edition of Iron PAX. It's pretty cool. You mentioned the emphasis on the red, but that this year's Iron PAX revolves all around red workouts. So every week's workout is going to use one of the red WODs as its base, and then we will modify some. So we red, and yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you know more about red than I do. Can you explain it better than I did?
Yeah. So red is, remember, everyone deployed. A lot of it's got a big CrossFit background to it. A lot of CrossFit boxes will have a red workout. And ever since we started 10 years ago, we've always had Red Friday. So every Friday for us is a red workout. So it's a workout honoring, a military person or a fire person or police officer who lost their life in the line of battle. So, we, like I say, every Friday for us is Red Friday. This morning we did what's called the Tell Your Wad. It just changes every week. So this year we decided for Iron PAX as kind of my SLT is let's just use those workouts as the base for our Iron PAX workouts. It's a great way to remember these men and women who gave everything for our country. And so we just thought let's do something a little different this year, and kind of use them. So we're excited about that. Like I said, it's a big part of our culture at F3 Greenwood. It always has been since the beginning. So we're excited about utilizing them and introducing them to the nation through the month of September in the Iron PAX Challenge.
Sweet. I didn't know that. Thank you for explaining that. Can you give us the origin and the history of Iron PAX Challenge? Where'd it come from? Who was dumb enough to come to this? How'd it get nationwide? Why can't y'all just keep it over there?
Right. So, I mean, when it started 8 years ago, the intent really was, I don't think we imagined or envisioned to what it's become. And I will say this, I wasn't a part of the beginning or of the origin story, but it goes that around cafeteria, a couple of our guys at the time, our beasts, our studs, were sitting around thinking about how can we create or how can they create some kind of challenge, really just to say, hey, who's the best of F3 Greenwood? And from that, I was like, hey, why don't we take this to outside of F3 Greenwood? And it kind of just snowballed from there. I think, the first year we might have had 300 people sign up, and then just traction just grew year after year. And I really don't think the intent, I don't think the big idea behind it was, oh yeah, this is going to get to the point where we have 2,000 guys sign up for this challenge in the month of September. But it's pretty cool to see how it kind of just organically grew. As men, we love competition. We love to compete against each other. We stretch it is a you versus you competition, right? It's pushing yourself, but there's a leaderboard, right? You want to see what that guy's doing, and then can I get there? And yeah, there are what the numbers are, right? But so I think competition drives men in every aspect of life, but and especially I think in the workout aspect of life. So it created that competition aspect of it all. Obviously X helps, and the banter on Twitter helps drive a lot of it. It makes it entertaining. So yeah, it just kind of it's morphed into what it is, and a lot of it is just because just everyone in the nation just getting involved, and really supporting it. It's fun when I go downrange and when they hear that I'm from F3 Greenwood, I'm not going to repeat what people say, but the reception is warm, I guess.
I've said it.
The reception is kind of warm, but so it's just fun, because I think it creates, I don't know, maybe it's just something it's a nationwide war, F3 nationwide thing that's just morphed. And I just think it's a great example of what F3 is, right? There was no intent behind it. There was no, I'll say, structure. It just kind of organically happened, and I just think it's become what it is.
So yeah, you brought up, and I think there's a rule in F3 that if you're mad about it, something in F3 made you mad, then it is stupid. That it just goes hand in hand. And then in 2 weeks, you're not even gonna care, but I'm still mad. So I mentioned my boy Redden, and he had his 600th beatdown with F3 Boise this morning. And he just won second place in the elite in the Spartan in the race here. He's an Olympian. We talk about him. Like I think his mitochondrial DNA is somehow twisted, and he's just different. He can eat McDonald's every day and still maintain a 3% body fat.
We hate those guys.
I know. I never want to buddy up with him. No battle buddy with Retina. But amazing dude. But when he gets on the leaderboard, I'll see on Twitter that this guy in a hotel in Virginia did the Iron PAX in a hotel gym, and he's at the top of the leaderboard. And I'm like, there is no way. And then you got Left Turn out of Jacksonville. Man, nobody can beat these guys. And yet on the leaderboard, so there's a lot of cheating going on. I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of cheating going on with Iron PAX Challenge, and I'm tired of it. We're done with that this year. I get so wound up about it.
There's no way, like, as we say, like, you are monitoring yourself, right? The hope is you have a proctor. You're supposed to have a proctor. The proctor is supposed to call you out, right? If you're no repping it. We really encourage like video submissions, right? If you're
who watches these things? Who's going to sit there? What kind of twisted person wants to watch somebody?
Right. I mean, sometimes I'll watch it just for pure entertainment, just to kind of see how, like, gosh, I want to be like that. But there's just no way to monitor, what the stuff. I mean, I will say there have been times where we've gotten some ridiculous submissions, and I have reached out to the Nantan or whoever the Iron PAX contact is and go, hey, is this legit? I got to take them at the word, right? I'm not there to watch.
I know it.
It's just, but I think, to be honest, that drives a lot. I think I'm sure it drives people away. I mean, I'm not naive to think it doesn't, but I really think it helps more than hurts because it really just creates more conversation around it, entertaining conversation. For me, it's pure entertainment. I mean, Crayola, the inventor of the Murder Bunny, which everyone loves, he's our dude. And he's nowhere near probably on the level of Retina, probably, or even Left Turn, but like he's our guy, wherein he's putting times in that are not even scratching the top 50, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, there's something there, right? But at the end of the day, like we say, it is a you versus you. You're the one that's stating that you did this, and you believe you're pushing yourself to your max. And if that's your score, that's your score. We try to have benchmark ideas, because we'll test run every Iron PAX workout. Like this is June and July is like test dummy central. Like we're running through workouts A to see, hey, is it Iron PAX worthy, right? But B, what should a normal time be, right? For the mass of Iron PAX, right? We don't want to have a workout that's going to take Crayola an hour to do. Well, if it's taking Crayola an hour to do, no one's going to finish it, right? So we want to find a workout that, hey, it's taking Crayola 35 minutes, 40 minutes to do, right? For the mass majority of us, right, we can get that done. We can get that done in an hour, right? So it's really just, so he's usually our benchmark for what we're doing and how we're structuring the workouts and stuff like that. But because he's our guy, but we know it creates dissension, it creates conversation, and hey, conversation's good or
That's
bad,
right.
however you want to look at it.
Where did the name Murder Bunny come from?
He just came up with it. One normal boot camp is like, hey, let's try this out. And he goes, we're just going to throw the block out and jump to the block. He goes like a bunny. And then I'm sure somewhere during the course of the banter, it's like, hey, Murder Bunny. Hey, and it sticks, just the way it happens, And so he's always, now we have reverse Murder Bunnies, and he's always looking for ways to modify it. And I mean, in a way, yeah, we all hate him. Like no one likes the Murder Bunny.
I guess you kind of look like a
No one
bunny as
likes
you're
him,
hopping,
but
I guess.
I mean, he pushes us outside our box. We know when he's queuing, it's gonna suck, but we know we're gonna be happy we're done when we're done.
We got an exercise in Boise called the dung beetle. You ever heard of that one? It's a bear crawl, but you have a concrete block and you're just rolling it as you're bear crawling.
Yeah.
The guy brought up I was like, "What's a dung beetle?" And then as you're doing it, you're like, "I get it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this."
We've done those. I never called them a dung beetle. I might have to. I'm gonna borrow it now.
Yeah, Flipper, my boy, came up with that one. I think. What's the schedule? What's expected? Is it every day of the week? Is it one a week? What is it?
Yeah. So we will release each. So week 0. And week 0 for us is really trial run, make sure IT is good, make sure everything's working well. So week 0 will start September 1st. So the competition week runs from the Monday to the Sunday. And then on every Sunday, we'll release the next workout for the following week. We try to give you a heads up if you need something different. Like one year we had jump ropes involved in one of the workouts. We tried to get, hey, a couple weeks before, hey, you're going to need jump ropes for week 3, or whatever that looks like, just so as the region, they can kind of figure out, hey, what equipment we need, do we need access to a track and whatnot. And then we just let every region kind of what makes sense for you. Like I know for us usually Tuesday and Thursdays are our Iron PAX workouts, because we also have other AOs at the time. So if guys have already done it or don't want to do it, then they can go get the other boot camps. So we'll generally release out the workout that Sunday, and then you have Monday through that following Sunday to complete the workout and submit your score. I would say the scoring window for every week stays open the entire month of September. But if you want to be considered on the leaderboard, you have to finish it within that prescribed week, right? If that makes sense, right? And then you can do the workout as many times as you want during the week. We ask you to submit only one score. So like if you do it on Tuesday and you think, hey, I can go faster, I can do more reps, and I'm going to try it again on Thursday, well, don't submit your score. Wait till Thursday and then submit whichever score you want, right? Because you start entering multiple scores, then my IT guy, my comms queue guy gets a little frustrated, because then he's got to go in and clean things up. Not frustrated, just it creates a lot of work for my comms queue, because I am not a technology guy. So I text him and go, hey, we need to clean this up, and then all this other stuff. So I mean, that's the basic premise behind it. Like all the videos will be on YouTube. We'll link them all on X and on Slack, all the Slack channels and stuff like that. We really try to get it out Sunday by noon ish. So that way guys have time to kind of plan it out and see what they need for the upcoming weeks. So yeah, I mean, it's coming up. As of right now, there are currently 1,065 packs signed up. Over 174 regions. North Houston is still leading the pack right now, and Northwest Passage is kind of close behind them. So yeah, it's so we're excited. So numbers are good. Numbers are rolling. Still plenty of time to sign up. Like I said, week 0 is really just is a kind of a test run. I mean, there'll be a scoreboard and a leaderboard, but really doesn't factor into the final score rankings and stuff. It just lets us make sure we're good to roll for the entire month.
How many packs do you expect to do this thing?
I mean, usually we'll get, and I can't pull up last year's data. I think last year we had, if I remember correctly, probably somewhere in the range of 2,500, 2,800 total sign up. The number of guys who completed all 4 weeks, I think, was somewhere in the range of 12 to 1,400. So usually what happens, we get a huge number of submissions through week 2, and then it starts to kind of taper down after 3 and 4. So, so the goal is always, obviously we want everyone to complete all 5 weeks, but we understand sometimes things happen. I didn't last year because we had Hurricane Helene come, so it kind of killed week 4 for us. But, so things happen. We do say, one of the things we added a couple of years ago was the ability to enter that your score is modified, however you modified it, right? If you're injured and you can't run, or you got an injury and you can't do one of the movements or something like that, right? Still participate, just put that you modified, right? But whatever the modification was, it doesn't matter what. Like, I know it was 1 week where there's some jumping stuff. Right now, I can't do the jumping stuff because of an injury. I'm still going to do the workout. It's just going to be a modified score for me, so don't let injury be the reason why you don't participate. Right. Again, it's all the you versus you. So just modify what you have to modify. Like we say before every workout, we want you to still take part in the fun of Iron PAX.
How do you sign up?
So go to f3greenwood.org. There is a pull down on the top right. On the top bar, it just says Iron PAX, and then it'll say registration form, and it opens up a Google form, and then you're good. Like I said, we pull all the regions from the nation's map. So if there's not a region there, that's more on their end. Because once we get, once the map updates, then it automatically updates our Google Forms. But yeah, so we are pulling all the current data we have from there.
That's sweet. And I know the map stays very updated compared to what it used to. And I know regions are doing a great job keeping those maps updated because we do it. But that's really cool that you guys do that. Tell us about what's one of the most memorable stories that's come out of Iron PAX throughout the years?
Yeah, I just think, gosh, there's so many. I just think it's guys that go into it. You hear so many stories of guys that are like, yeah, I can't do that, right? And then they do it. It's like, oh, yeah, that was not fun while doing it, but look what I did. And just to see that kind of stuff, I think that's why we do it, right? That's why we get up at 4:30 every morning, but to go out there and do things that you never thought you were going to do. But then also the camaraderie of doing it with other guys, right? I think that's the fun stuff that comes out of it, and really internally we have a lot of stuff, but just hearing how it impacts other regions, and how they use it to get more guys to stay committed, to come out and stuff like that. That to me, and I tell my crew all the time, because I was just up in Columbus. We were just up in Columbus, Ohio, looking at colleges with my youngest, and posted downrange up there, and just to hear their complaints, but also the fun that they have with it and how they're reaching that's the cool stuff. And that's why that's kind of what it's turned into, and I think it's just one of those things that kind of, I want to say, unites the nation for a little bit, and it just creates a common thread. And I think that's the fun part of it all, for us. So it's just to me it's just the stories of hearing guys that push themselves more than they thought they could do, and how that's continued after Iron PAX and still post and still coming out. It's made them, hey, sign up for Spartans or sign up for races or stuff like that. That's kind of the stuff that's the fun stuff that comes out.
That's amazing. Speaking, and I'm glad you emphasize fun, because as much as it does things. I'm a cranky old man, but it's fun. It is. It's a ton of fun. Speaking of, One of my favorite Twitter accounts or X accounts is the aluminum packs, and I if you haven't checked out the aluminum packs, it's kind of a countercultural to the iron packs. I think a little bit. I know the individual behind that account. I think Ben Gay does too. We won't give that away, but maybe we will. I don't know. But yeah, I thank you for reminding us that it's tremendous. It's intended to be fun, and let's let it be fun and injury free would be
Yes.
amazing.
But I always think about this, like if I can't laugh at myself, right, then what's the point, right? I mean, it's social media. Social media is what it is, right? But no one's. It's intended to be entertaining, right? And just I take it for what it is. Like if someone were to call me out on Twitter, I'm not gonna get offended by it. It's just I hope that we are bringing people together more than dividing them up through iron packs.
I love it. So I know you kind of mentioned this previously, but I know month is July was the test month, but who actually sits down and says, no, that's too easy, or no, this is too hard, or how do you roll through that process?
Yeah, so we'll sit down and we'll look at workouts and we'll start. So what we try really to hit all different types of guys in F3, right? Because we have runners, we have Clydesdales, we got stuff like that. So we really try to let's make 1 week run heavy, right? Make 1 week more block heavy, right? So we really and then there's 1 week where it's a normal combination of both, right? So we'll just take all these different ideas, and I'll say it's getting a little harder because we've done it for 8 years now to try to come up with something new. And I think that was one of the drives behind the red emphasis was, okay, well, now we have a base. Now we can just make it more, modify how we need to. So then we take June and July and we'll test run. Hey, that was too hard. That wasn't hard enough. What about if we add this to it? Because we're still trying to stay within as much as possible the 45, 50, maybe 55-minute window. Obviously, we don't want to make something that's going to last an hour and a half because no one's going to do it, right? So we're still trying to hit that window of time. So a lot of times we'll take Saturday. That's an hour boot camp for us, and that'll be our test run period. One of the weeks is always the region winner from the week before. So like F3 Cleveland won last year. So they submitted a workout for one of the weeks and they've sent it to us, and it's going to be a good one. And we get guys will send me workouts all year, and we'll test run some of them. We did a couple weeks ago. We test ran one. We're like, this is pretty good. What about if we modified this, or change this, right? Just to make it I won't say harder, but just to add a little different, iron packs flair to it. So, it's just a lot of. It starts spitballing, or it starts with a boot camp that somebody did and go, this is good. How can we make it a little harder, right? Make it more iron packs worthy, I guess. To be honest, it probably lasts all year, because like sometimes after a boot camp, I'll go, that was a pretty good one. And I'll write it down on my notes on my phone and go, hey, this is what we did today. And just idea for iron packs. So yeah, and then it's just, we're just in my SLT, we'll sit down and obviously on my SLT, we got guys at different fitness levels, different types of guys. So it's an equal representation of, I think, of F3, different guys we get in F3, and then we'll just try to put their workout together, run it through and go, yeah, this is going to be good. If Crayola is exhausted at the end of it, we're like, this is going to be good.
Those guys, anything Iron Pack said, no, we ain't doing that.
We've done some things like, yeah, we can't do that. Or we've done some things to where that's too, I don't want to say too hard, but for the mass majority of F3 Nation, right, we just need to scale that down somehow, either the rep scale or the actual exercise or how much running, or whatever it is. Because I said, at the end of the day, we want to make it hard for the elites, for your retinas and your left turns, and we want to make it hard for them. But we also need to appeal to the rest of us, to where, yeah, I can get that done. So I think a lot of times we're just scaling back the rep count or the distance covered or things along those lines. There's one red workout. It's a 10-mile run. We haven't actually done this one because we just don't have time. It's like a 10-mile run, and there's 150 pull-ups involved in it, stuff like that. I'm like, we could take it as a base. We just don't have time to do that, So it is things like that, But again, a lot of it's trial and error. I mean, literally June and July, Saturdays is like, at least for half the boot camp, half the workouts, gonna be like, all right, let's run some things through iron packs. Let's hey, do we like it? Do we not like it? How can we modify it based on what it is? And just figuring it out. And it just always comes together, and my SLT helps a lot, all my AOQs, it's not just a me show. It's a them show. I just happen to be the guy behind the video, which I'm not my biggest thing, but we try to get Uncle Jesse back, but he's a little harder to track down these days.
Who's Uncle Jesse?
So Uncle Jesse was the main guy, the first guy behind the camera. So if you in front of the camera, if you go back to our YouTube channel and go back probably like to the original videos, he's the guy in the blue Marmot shirt. So he was the main guy in front of the camera.
Have to go back and check that out.
It's kind of morphed to me. He's a lot more entertaining than I am, though. He looks like he looks like the guy from Full House, hence Uncle Jesse.
Okay.
John Stamos. Yeah.
Nice. And I like it. I guess you do have a kind of time constraint. These are 45-minute or to an hour workouts for the best for guys like Crayola. Yeah. So you kind of time it based on Crayola. And so he'll finish in 45 minutes and guys like me will finish in an hour and 15. And so you just kind of take a guess at how long that's going to be. But a 10-mile run wouldn't fit at that. I don't think the majority of us can do that 10 mile. And I stress the importance. I know we're pushing ourselves hard, but man, I always say the most important workout is tomorrow's workout, not today's. And so just don't hurt yourself out there, right, for sure. And I love that. And you guys just started that modified thing last year? Yeah, maybe last year, the year before. Because I think we had a lot of, I think we just had guys asking about it. And, I'm like, hey, we can just modify it. And how does that differ from the leaderboard? There is usually a modified leaderboard. But obviously we don't know what the modifications were. So it's hard there. For a while, Scar U out of F3 Princeton, like he was helping to write like like I would send him the workout and say, hey, how can we modify this? So usually when we put the workout out there's going to be a modification behind it, right? So if you for some reason you can't run, right? Well, modification. If we're running 400 meters, we just maybe walk 100 meters, to where whatever if you can't do a murder bunny because you have a back injury or whatnot, well then modify it and do a lunge walk or something like that. Just like I know for me, like I said with the jumping stuff, I can't do that the way it is this year. So here's the modifications for the jumping. Hey, you lunge walk. If it's we call them a jungle boy squat or a jump squat, then just do a regular squat. Whatever it is. Because you're just still get out there. Don't use the fact that you have to modify as an excuse not to do it, right? And I think that's for every workout, every morning. Don't use the fact that you got to modify it as a reason not to get up in the morning, and get out there in the gloom. I love it. All right, F3 greenwood.org to sign up. When's week 0? Week 0 starts September 1st. So the first workout video will drop August 31st. That's Sunday, probably sometime around noon or 1. You know what? Since Twitter's a terrible place, let's go ahead and up there. Let's make Twitter really bad this year with the Iron PAX chatter. Let's just see how bad it can get with who's cheating and who's not cheating and the leaderboard. And let's get mad and dumb over this amazing challenge. The day that the leaderboard drops is always the most entertaining day on Twitter. Like I can't wait. I have to turn my notifications off so my phone just isn't going ding ding left and right. Are you the F3 Greenwood Twitter guy as well? Yeah. Because I've seen some people come at you. I know. It wasn't me. I know it wasn't me that time. But I've seen people come at F3 Greenwood just mad. And oh my God, it's the best. There's a couple of us who are the admins for F3 Greenwood. So most of the time it's me, but sometimes it's not. Oh, that's funny. How'd you get the name Ben Gay? So I'm an athletic trainer by trade. So it was almost jockstrap. And then thankfully, it got to Ben Gay. But yeah, so that's why. That's awesome. My dad comes out. My dad comes out. He lives in New Jersey, but when he comes out, they named him BioFreeze. That's cool. He's 74, but he'll post when he comes down to visit. I love it. I love it when your name, my name originated from my son, and so it's more special to me because family. Yeah, I like those names. So it's really cool you have that connection with your dad. Any questions I should have asked you, didn't ask you? You wish I would have asked him? No, I think it's just we enjoy it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we're happy when September's over, but we do. For me, like I said, I think that just the reception you get across the nation is what makes us want to keep doing it. It's just if it was one of those things where guys truly hated it and no one signed up, and then what's the point? But I think
yeah, we have the controversies with the scores, but at the end of the day, I think it's good for the nation. But I think it's just fun to see guys get involved, and really get out there and do hard things, especially during the Iron PAX.
I'm going to disagree with you. You say it's good for the nation. Just know how much work goes behind the scenes for things like this that go uncredited. Your IT guy that thinks he has to roll through, the guys up in wherever they are making the modifications, so much time and energy. This is one of the coolest things the nation does. And I appreciate you bringing us together. It's a moment. This is a great thing for the nation. And it's tons of fun. We're all doing the same thing. We're all having the same conversations. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate that and how much we appreciate you guys for all your efforts. And I just want to thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you.
I'll pass that along to my group. That they'll appreciate it. It's fun for us, so we enjoy doing it. We'll keep doing it as long as the nation wants us to do it.
Yeah, and remind me, are you guys the ones that put on the Damn? I gotta come do that.
No, that is F3 Lexington. Yeah, we're involved. Like I said, we're involved a little bit on the back end, but because it ends in Greenwood. But F3 Lexington, Juice, and Paper Jam, they started it, and it's just morphed into something great. All the money go to proceeds. It's like it's signed. Sells out in about an hour 15 after registration opens. So it's a great event. All the money going to proceeds, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, like after Lexington is my home, so I got named 11 years ago. Love those guys.
Yeah, come on out. We can run it together. Come on out.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute. I got to get out there for sure. All right, hang tight. I'm gonna play and click a couple buttons. There's gonna be some music and all things. Hope you like the new intro. Anyway,
I'm your Huckleberry.